Oh, sometimes IG stories bleed over. Many people thought when the Panthers traded for Baker Mayfield, it meant former Browns quarterback was going to be the fast-track starter for Carolina this new season. Well, not exactly the case. Matt Rule said it's not his job to decide who the starter is. What? They maintained an open competition between the former number one overall pick and the guy that picked 2 slots behind him, incumbent Sam Darnold.
We've both had a little bit of ups and downs to the start of our careers, and so we've both been through some stuff. So being able to just communicate with the different systems we've been through, and I think that's important for, PJ's obviously been through a lot as well, but that's important for Matt to see how we're communicating, how QB room should be, that it's not about, trying to stab one another in the back. It's about elevating, and because the franchise and the team goes as the QB room goes. I was taught that at a young age, and if we're all on the same page and we can elevate everybody, that's great.
It's just one of those things where you just got to keep focusing on what I can control, and I think that's the biggest thing. Continuing to study the offense and understand, if we got an issue here, we got to get to this play and things like that. So I think just staying within myself and understanding to just keep doing me. Just keep doing everything that I can to put this offense in a good position to keep the ball moving down the field. And I know that's cliche, but that's really all I can do at this point.
I just realized you got a USC quarterback and an Oklahoma quarterback. Both those programs leaving their conferences soon. But get to the NFL. Noticeable preseason Week 1 games. Giants and Patriots, Titans, Ravens, the Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks, Steelers, and the Cowboys and the Broncos Saturday night in the nightcap. All right, let's say good morning to Ryan Wilson. He was with Pete Prisco at Bills camp yesterday, back at his humble abode. Position battles to watch this week in the preseason. Let's start with Panthers at Commanders. Which position battles are you looking out for here?
Well, it's sort of interesting, Tommy. You heard the comments for Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. And look, I cover the draft for most of the time at HQ, and you get super excited about these quarterbacks during the draft process and how they're going to change their franchises. And now the Panthers have 2 guys who were first-round picks, high first-round picks, on other teams, on their roster, battling for spots. And that's just the reality of how tough it is. And Baker sort of alluded to it, to play quarterback in the NFL. So that's what this is going to come down to. Sam Darnold didn't work out last season for the Panthers when they traded for him. They're still paying him that $18.8 million a year. They went out and got Baker Mayfield late in the process after Deshaun Watson landed in Cleveland. He's making $18.8 million. Luckily, the Browns are paying some of that. But it looks like, I know Matt Rule said he's not going to make a decision until after the second preseason game against the Patriots, but it looks like Baker's got the inside track, and that makes sense, right? I mentioned Sam Darnold didn't work out. Baker has come in. He's done a lot of things really well, and the expectation is that he'll take that starting job. I think he's on track to do so, but they have that preseason game this weekend, and that'll be something to watch. Sam Darnold comes out and balls out. Maybe Matt Rule has to reevaluate.
All right, what about on the Commander side? You got 1 or 2 for me there?
Yeah, Carson Wentz. And again, Carson Wentz, similar situation to Baker and or Sam Darnold in Carolina. His situation was probably just as tenuous on the way out in Indianapolis as Baker's was in Cleveland. Prior to that, he was in Philadelphia. Again, another high first-round pick who hasn't worked out. He struggled with some accuracy issues. You've seen those reports coming out of Washington. Ron Rivera said they're not as big a deal as perhaps the media is making them out to be. But I've been saying this for some time on the Pick Six podcast. I'm not convinced by the way Carson Wentz has played that he is better play in and play out than Taylor Heineke. He's bigger, he's better arm, more physical. Those things all check the boxes there. But I don't know if he's going to reach that level that we've seen previously when he was playing like a top 10 pick, like a top 5 pick. And I think that's the concern in Washington. That's something they're looking out for. I don't think they want to have a situation where Taylor Heineke plays early, but if Carson Wentz struggles, he's going to be in the conversation. And oh, by the way, in the 5th round, they took Sam Howell out of UNC, who is also going to be in the mix at some point.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.